Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dead in Vinland. What's the big idea? That's right. Recording two videos back to back. What is some kind of like actual real recording? Well, yeah, it's a real recording session. That's right. By the time this goes up, I will probably be on the road. Driving down. Some sketchy, scary, small town Canada winter roads. Probably be on the road all day. Actually, it's gonna be quite the trip. Yeah. So wish me luck. Hopefully, I haven't been snowed in somewhere, or I got my winter tires and everything's good. But you never know. Slippery patch of road or something, and then the next thing you know, this is the last video. Not to be too morbid, but I am staring at this this sort of very ominous looking stone wall with skeletal figures over it. Yeah, Eirik's gonna get in there and just bust crap up here. You approach the wall with the intent to destroy it and salvage what you can. Those stones would be some nice assets for your camp. You start by removing the rocks that are the most unsteady. Nice camp assets. I don't know. No sooner have you touched the rocks than it starts to hail. Again with the hail. The hailstones are rather small, so you don't really mind them. You don't know why, but each stone you remove makes you want to destroy the wall even more. Looks like you really need to wind down. Why is this a hidden condition? What have I done to meet all these hidden conditions? Just bust it down. Maybe his strength has to be over a certain level for that to be an option. You grab a stone and punch the wall with it. I've done that before. Not a wall, though. Do we want to do this story now? Yeah, sure, because I'm looking at my nail here, and this is the sort of the war wound proof of my story, though you can't see it, but my nail's all bruised up. This big circle right in my middle finger, right in the middle of my middle finger, and is a bruise, and it's from picking up a rock. It was in the bush, and I had a chain, and the chain somehow got wrapped around the quad, the bike. Actually, I think you've seen that in one of my camping videos there, that little camp video I had where I was camping. It was that bike that was wrapped around a bar, and the hook of the chain somehow got on the bar around itself, and I had to unhook it, but it wouldn't go. Somehow the chain linked itself up, and the hook was hooking. The hook was out hooking, but I couldn't get it off the hook to unwrap it around the bar. I needed to get it free, and I couldn't. So I'm trying to hammer the hook off of the chain. Actually, it wasn't on the chain, it was on the bar itself. And I couldn't, so I pick up a rock and I start hammering it. And it's getting dark at this point because this was at night, about probably 2 months ago now at least, maybe more, and this bruise is still on my finger. And I'm hammering, and at one point the rock isn't quite big enough, and I have to hold my fingers out of the way. And one of my middle fingers kind of slides and gets in between the rock and the metal frame of the bike that I'm hitting, and I smash my middle finger between the rock and the hook, and I screamed in pain, I think, or I cursed to the trees and the nothingness around me, and I was left with this huge bruise. And actually, a lot of it is gone, and that in and of itself was interesting to watch, because as your nail grows, right, the bruise on the nail moves up your finger, so it's like this moving bruise that has gone up. And I've cut some of it off, and every time I cut my nails or chew my nails, I haven't been chewing any of my nails, actually. I haven't done that in a long time. As I've been cutting my nails down, I've been cutting off little bits of the bruise, so there's still a good oh god, it's almost as big as the like an eraser on a pencil, the end of a pencil eraser in diameter. It's a fair sized bruise still. It's a little bit small, just a touch smaller than that. Like the eraser covers just covers the bruise. And so there's a PSA for you kids. If I can pass on any wisdom in my 30 some years of experience, proper tool for the job, right? You want to hammer something, get a hammer. Don't use a rock and start punching stuff with it. A few stones break and fall off. A wolfish smile appears on your face. I had no wolfish smile that day. Getting that trailer was a pain in the behind, and there was no wolfish smile on my part. You hit blow after blow, thinking about the people who've angered you so far. Bjorn, Elof, some of your companions. By all gods, it feels so good. You hit even harder, faster, thinking about people from the island, people from home. You let your anger control your body, even though you have enough on your plate to last for a very long time. Your stamina is limited. Panting, you look at the effects of your emotional outburst. Even though you got rid of a large portion of the wall, it still stands. You glare at it. Let your anger out, Eirik. Let it out. The wall still standing fuels your anger some more, and you muster the strength to keep hitting. The first 2 blows are the hardest, but then you feel a surge of energy as you're back into a destructive frenzy. You keep hitting for each thing that pissed you off the last days. The weather, the food not warm enough, the stone under your mattress. At some point, the rock you used to punch the wall breaks. I wish I could have broken that rock, but you don't care. You will destroy this wall with your bare hands if need be. You gaze at your progress. Half the stones are reduced to rubble now, but still the wall stands. You're burning with outrage at this point. Indeed. Channel your rage on the wall. This is starting to piss you off beyond reason. The rune was about destruction? You will show what destruction is. You let out an angry cry and unleash a hail of blows on this damn wall. Your knuckles are soon numbed by pain, but that doesn't stop you. You keep hitting the wall with heavy blows. You're all but primal fury right now, letting out a shout each time your bloodied fist meets the stones. And then your fists dislodge the stone, keeping the wall up. It doesn't take long for the wall to crumble after. You contemplate your work, dumbfounded. You can't believe that you, a human being, did this. Only rubble are left. You totally lost it. You sheepishly select a few stones to bring back to camp. Among the remains of the wall, you also find a strange golden bead. Oh, yeah. Okay, what does Berserk do for us? Is that going to be useful in battle? By any chance? Berserk. No. Oh, max damage in battle. But we get more injury increases. Well, I can say one thing. Those beads are persistent little buggers. I don't remember seeing this at all before. Obstructed Horn was my nickname in college. A big wooden lure. Lure? Or lure? A big wooden lure is sitting right here in the middle of the forest. The craftsmanship of the Scandinavian horn is rather unsettling, both primitive and sophisticated. A rather tall human being could blow the lure if it wasn't filled with rotting filth. But what catches your eyes are the ears and beads hanging above the rune engraved on a golden plaque. Ah, yes, okay. Check the rune. We always start by checking the rune. The rune is carved on a golden plaque. Is it the initial letter of the owner, or is... You know what just popped into my head? This is embarrassing, but I'm going to say it anyway. First, I'm going to have some coffee. I've been wondering, I don't know if I've mentioned it, I may have alluded to it, but I've been wondering why every single... And it kind of relates to the idea that we're constantly using the same characters, right? It's because we're getting a lot of wisdom rolls. And I've been wondering, why is everything that we're dealing with a wisdom roll. I keep using the same two people, Moira and Brother Angelico. I'm like, is there nobody else I can use? It's all wisdom rolls. It's all runes. It's all that distant throat singing in the background. And it just clicked in my head that I'm, at one point, made an intentional decision to click on all the rune symbols on the map. I've been breaking it up here and there with a few different things, but I've been trying to specifically target those rune symbols. And that's why these all have runes. I'm a moron. Is it the initial letter of the owner, or is it to imbue the lure with the magic meaning of the rune? Only 63%. It's a tough rune. You remember people arguing about this rune. One said uruz means slag. Another said it is showers. And a third one said it means aurochs. Oryx. They kept bickering about it for ages, but eventually agreed with the fact that it embodies primal energies, such as sudden strength, prowess, wildness, and creativity. That's me defined in a nutshell. Does that mean you would need strength to solve the mystery of the horn? You sure would need a lot of breath to produce a sound. That would be a real achievement. Well, let's empty the horn. And we'll have Nut go and blow that thing out of the water. You put your hand into the filthy hole and get the trash out of the horn. You produce a big pile of trash next to the wind instrument. Also my nickname in college, wind instrument. You remove animal and human remains, broken pieces of armor, shattered glass. Among all of this rubbish, you find a few things that can be salvaged. Rope? No, rotten food. 11 rotten food. Smelly fertilizer. Foul-smelling potion. Satisfied with your findings, you stare at the pile of trash. What the heck? The horn should be empty by now, but it looks as filled as it was before you started getting the trash out. Keep emptying the horn. Has to be an end to all this filth. You stubbornly resume cleaning. More energy this time. No matter how much trash, there's no end. You're starting to believe this horn is filling itself. Will it ever end? Go one more time. Will it ever end? Something's telling me that it should eventually end. Like, okay, maybe not. This has no end. You don't want to waste more time. Okay, Nut, you got this, boy. Blow that horn. Although it looks like it should be a Tomo roll. Oh, for God's sakes. Just send Tomo in there. You place your mouth against the top hole. You take a big breath and pinch your lips. Blow, my friend. Blow. Then you huff and you puff, trying to blow the trash out. There's no trash going out, but the jaw of the skull mounted on the lure starts chattering softly. Creepy. Check the skull. Not really what you expected, but at least you achieved something. Maybe the key to the mystery of the lure resides within the skull? You check it out. The skull is firmly stuck between antlers fixed to the horn. The top and bottom jaws appear to be stuck in a small hole on the side of the lure the size of a hand. Strange, you can't move the jaws with your hands right now, yet you swear you heard it move. Who could forget that creepy teeth chattering sound? Blow again. You put both hands inside the mouth of the skull to cover the hole and press firmly to prevent air from escaping. Then you take a deep breath and blow again. Although no air comes from the side hole, the skull does the strange chattering again, on your hands this time. Yet you see the whole horn trembling as trash starts rolling out. Ignore the pain. That's why we... God damn it, Tomo. You huff and you puff, trying to blow the trash out, ignoring the pain in your hands, till it's too much for you to bear. Yowza. You try to remove your hands, but the jaws move too fast, biting into your flesh. You use great strength to get them out. Beneath the blood, your puffy fingers wear a vast palette of colors. From yellow to dark purple, you're not only bruised, you also broke something. Ignore the pain. Keep blowing, sure. What? Oh. Come on, Tomo. You got this. Get in there, girl. dizzy. You're almost out of breath when you finally hear a vibrant tooting sound. You did it. You blew the horn. It resounds so strongly the horn breaks. It's that glare. I'm sorry, I'm misreading these words. There's glare. I know you can't prove it, but there is. All that's left is the skull, trapping your hands. You break it to set them free and notice a small golden bead falling on the ground. You pick it up. Looks like orichalcum. No way. An orichalcum bead. Who would have thought? We got all the beads. Beads for days, my friend. Bears beats beads. Battlestar Galactica. What's this rune? A gambling table. Yeah, I don't really remember liking that one too much. The Old Man of the Lake. Can we pull this off in 6 minutes? Probably. Giant disembodied head of an old bearded man floats above the water. Bizarre apparition doesn't seem to be aware of your presence. Its beard weaves into the water to unfathomable depths, maybe as a kind of anchor or a navel string. Its body, if there is one, is nowhere to be seen. Its eyes are so dark they could be made of the fabric of a starry night. There's a third eye drawn on the forehead and a sign that looks like a rune. Jeez, why are we getting so many runes? This has to be one of the strangest runes. Nothing about it makes sense. Why would a massive head float in the air before your eyes? Try to focus, Moira. Focus, girl. The answer suddenly appears in your mind, crystal clear. It is Laguz, the rune of water, great unifier of life and portal to the collective unconscious. Somehow the ocean is moving in its sleep, and the surface mirrors its dreams. Interesting. Talk to it. Just have a nice little chit-chat. See, and look at it's always the same people. The head doesn't seem to care about anything. It's just floating. Oh, I was going to say before, wouldn't it be neat if there was a mechanic in this game whereby you needed 2 people to perform a task on one of these interactables on the map? So far, if I remember correctly, they've all been one person. You had to pick one person. What if you pick one person for one part of the interaction, like on the horn where they had to go up and blow the horn, and then the other person has to use their hands to cover the holes? Right? I mean, you got workstations in the camp that are 2 and 3 people, but not these interactables. Very strange. The head doesn't seem to care about anything. It's just a floating head. Introduce yourself. As you start to say your name, the head opens its mouth and spits a tremendous flow of water in your direction. Wow, she dodged it. You swiftly jump aside while the torrent of water hits a nearby tree at full force and breaks it. You feel lucky. Take the wood and go home. The head closes its mouth as if nothing happened. It doesn't even look in your direction. Search the beard. Strong man. You approach the head and start searching in its seaweed-covered beard. Its putrid smell becomes the least of your concerns when it abruptly coils around you. I want to break free. Thanks to your raw strength, you avoid being crushed by the constrictive power of the beard and step back carefully. I wish my beard had constrictive power. The beards move. There's now a ray, a beam, a slash of light. That curtain is not fully closed, I guess. I hold my hand up here. There we go. The beard's moves seem utterly random and unrelated to your own moves. You just got in its way. Okay. Talk to the head. That's what I say to my self every day. We'll send in Tomo. There we go. The head doesn't seem to care about anything. It's just floating. Ask who he is. Before you can finish your sentence, the head sneezes, enveloping you in a viscous mist that smells like 1,000 dead fish. Try to resist. Thank you. Despite the atrocious smell, you manage to control your nausea and stand firm. The head seems to be looking at the sky, totally uninterested in you or anything you could have to say. This head doesn't want anything to do with us. Why don't we just leave? The head doesn't seem to care about anything. It's just floating. Ask about the future. You don't really know how to ask about the future or even what to ask. Despite this blur, you feel it's the kind of question the head may answer. Before you can open your mouth, the huge starry eyes suddenly turn to you. You fall into their deep black void. Try to focus, Tomo, please. Thank you. You let go of everything. You bathe in dreamy images that still make sense in a way you can't explain. There is a thread to follow, far greater than yourself. You try to absorb the overwhelming flow of information that rushes through your mind. Oh, this is too much of an effort for your small human brain. It drains you of your energy. We don't have low intelligence. After an eternity of meaningless chaos and confusion, you wake up on the shore. That's crazy. So wait a minute here. It didn't call for an intelligence roll here. Does she have any intelligence? Yes, she does. So if we send Moira in, hopefully we'll get through the Constitution portion of the show here. Focus, we got the wisdom, yep. Now, is there a Constitution check? Intelligence. Thank you. You don't think the head can speak because it is the vessel of too many voices. Way too many. You decide to join them instead of resisting their deafening noise. All of a sudden, a small but seemingly bottomless whirlpool opens under the head. Its beard hangs like a rope. Is it an invitation? Climb down the beard. Wow. Go for it. You jump into the whirlpool, aiming at the beard. 62%. Thank you. You catch the beard and use it as a rope, climbing down in the middle of solid water walls. Or are you dreaming this? The descent lasts for so long that you don't feel your limbs anymore, yet the bottom is nowhere to be seen. Finally, you reach the end of the rope. From here, the surface looks like a mere spot of light. Below you lie ancient unknown depths. So it really stresses our stats to the max. Remember in one of the updates they mentioned how those percentages are calculated, and it's, I think it's certain events tax your stats more than others. So, just because you have 100% doesn't mean you're going to get 100% on every 100% chance of success on every roll, because the severity of the roll actually limits your stat number. If that makes any sense whatsoever. You let go of the rope. You fall into immemorial darkness, far deeper than the deepest ocean. You float in the endless sea that binds everything, life and death, time and space, dream and reality, gods and mortals. My God, what an overwhelming sensation. Something opens in you. You form a bond between the known and the unknown. There is nothing to fear, only an eternal change to embrace. Wow. You awake on the shore. The head is finally looking at you, its mouth wide open. Its interminable tongue uncoils and drops a small metal sphere at your feet. Then the head silently sinks into the water and disappears. Oh, we just had this hugely profound experience where we're joining with all of eternity and everything in the universe around us, and then it spits a bead out. When we've already got 19 of them at home. And it's like, here, take a bead for your trouble. Oh. Thanks so much. See you soon.